Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Halftime Show. Birds have the lead 14-12 after an explosive second quarter and a usual slow start to the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think we're sitting in a very good spot here, up 14-12. They were down 9-0 early. A Justin Tucker missed point after, and the offense was getting nothing going. And then all of a sudden, they turn the page. Jalen finds the rhythm. He completed 9 out of 10 passes for over 100 yards, started finding A.J. Brown, and just like that, the offense got going. Now, my critique would be in the first quarter, I don't know why we don't rely on Saquon Barkley more in those moments when you start the game, he has an 11 or 12 or 13-yard run, and then boom, you throw the ball over the place and they can't get going. But I tell you what, we give teams chances to pull up early in games, just like we did to Baltimore today. We had 4 straight punts. Baltimore had a chance, I thought, to take a 2 or 3 score lead. Defense held them. They flipped the field, and then boom, we took the lead, and just like that, we came back. So it's funny how the games are all working out, but if teams can't take that early lead on us, it seems as though we become too much, and we are now out physicaling them. A couple guys sticking out to me. Nolan Smith, big sack there, gets up to 4.5 on the year. We've been needing him to step up, obviously, with Brandon Graham gone, and he does that so far today. Jalen Carter is a game wrecker. He has been in Lamar's face multiple times. You could see him spatting with each other there at the end of the half there, and I thought he almost had Lamar Jackson fumbling there. So a good start for the Eagles, and they have a 14-12 lead. Now, the thing is here, Baltimore will get the ball out of the half. Let's bring up now John McMullen, live from M&T Bank Stadium. Joining me now, Johnny Mac. Do I have your brother?
Yeah, Zander, you got me?
I got you, man. You all good. What's your takeaways from the first half and what you've seen so far?
Another tough start offensively for the Eagles. I think they had 22 yards or so over their first 4 possessions. Then they kind of figured it out with the RPO game and the tempo, and really had 2 back-to-back excellent drives. They flipped the field. It was really big. They were able to have the good punt from Braden Mann down to the 1-yard line, able to get off the field in 3 plays. Lamar Jackson, could have had the first down with a decent throw to Zay Flowers. It was there for him. That's been one of the stories. He's had 3 different throws that were pretty wildly inaccurate. Maybe the game would be a little bit different if he just made some throws he should make. So you never know if that's impacted. I thought it was pretty impressive in the first half as a whole. And the offense got going. Similar story, a slow start. Then they kind of figured it out. A.J. Brown was, they don't have an answer for A.J. Brown, which serves, as play action for the Eagles. So statistically, it's very even, 10 first downs apiece, 169 to 164 Ravens in total yards, but very close, 5.6, 5.5 yards per play each team. So everything's pretty close. Eagles have done a nice job on Derrick Henry. Typical Saquon Barkley first half, 4.5 yards per carry. So we'll see if the tradition of him really kicking in the second half starts to wear down that Baltimore defense. But very even game. Justin Tucker with a 50-yard field goal, which has been difficult for him this season. But he also missed the extra point. So that kicking game is coming into effect. Eagles have been very good on third down defense. That's been a positive. So all in all, good game at the half. And as you mentioned, the Ravens will get the football coming out.
Johnny Mac, good stuff. A little bit spotty connection there, but I'll let you go. Good halftime report, brother. We will talk to you on the postgame show coming up at the end. All right, man? All right, Johnny Mac's not hearing me anymore. I knew his connection was a little spotty. Good to get the halftime update, though, from him. I thought he was spot on with the way it played out. The Eagles start slow, and then they start coming, and then they take the lead. And, the defense did a good job. But I will say, John brought it up, and I meant to mention it in the open. Braden Mann, everybody should thank Braden Mann because that punt that set him up, that ultimately was what flipped the field, and the Eagles offense had gone 0 for 4 with 4 straight punts before that. Then they got the ball in plus yardage at the 49, and they went right down and got the score. So that was a big start for the Eagles to kind of get going there. Big thanks to Braden Mann who did that and flipped the field for the Birds. Defense has played well. I think they had to settle in a little bit. You had to learn how to play against Lamar in a way. You see him escape from Milton Williams and make a 40-yard completion, and you're just like, how the hell do you deal with this guy? And then John mentioned it. He had a couple missed throws there that were bad, that were drive killers. He had one to Isaiah, likely, I think it was, that could have been a big gain. And then he had the other one, I forget who it was, underneath the flat in the drive where they had the ball at the 1, and they tried to get the first down there. He just threw a worm burner. So he's going to bring a lot, but he's also going to make have his mistakes. And I think that ultimately is what helped the Eagles get back in this game. Saquon, 10 carries, 45 yards. I'd like to see him used earlier in games. I don't know why I watch the Eagles. They start the game, 13 yards to Saquon Barkley, and then it's pass. And I'm like, what? Why? Why do we do that? Why not rely on Saquon early and then let the passing game acclimate like it does anyway? So, I tell you what, if we remove first quarters from this team, we'd be like the greatest team in the NFL by a country mile. The first quarter, we can do nothing. And, Sam, I think you bring up a point there that maybe should be talked about. I don't know what the game plan is, early in games, because once they get off script, they start humming. Jalen Hurts was clearly not in rhythm early, and then he was clearly in rhythm once on the touchdown drives. He was 9 of 10, hitting AJ, hitting Goddard, Jahan Dotson had a catch. I don't know what it is with that first quarter, man, but we cannot seem to draw it up to make it work. But overall, I think the Birds are in a great spot right now. You had a chance to go down. The Eagles had a chance to be put in a real hole, and they ultimately got out of it. And now you go into I think being up by 2 right now in this halftime is a real win for the Eagles. It's a real win for the Eagles to be where they are right now. And now I know the Ravens are getting the ball here at the half, but if you can get a stop and a score, I think you're going to be in control for the rest of the game. So we'll see how it goes. Chuck Hutton checks in. Did Zander say worm burner? Chuck, you never heard of a worm burner, especially here in Philly? Donovan McNabb was famous for the worm burner. Think of it like a piercing spiral going right through the mud and destroying any worm in its path. A worm burner. Chuck Hutton. Appreciate that, everybody, for being here. Hit the like button. Birds are in a good spot, like I said. We'll see how the second half unfolds, but so far I think they've kept Lamar Jackson at bay. Jalen Hurts has found his rhythm a little bit, which always takes him a little bit to do. And then A.J. Brown, what a beast he is. He is unguardable by anybody. It doesn't matter who you play against. A.J. Brown is unguardable, and the fact that they're using him more in the intermediate game seriously gets me excited because I watch even early in the game on that third down, boom, they throw a go route, and I'm like, I don't know why they do that. Is that Jalen checking into that? I'm not sure where it comes from, but they love it, and I'm happy they got the more of the underneath stuff, more slants, more stuff across the middle for A.J. Brown. And really, everybody talked about Jalen Hurts throwing over the middle of the field. Well, that whole touchdown drive was over the middle of the field. So in a way, it's correct. It's all correcting itself. Just got to figure out those slow starts. But right now, Birds got to keep winning at the line of scrimmage like they have been. I think you got to get the ball into Saquon Barkley's hands a little bit more in this second half. Keep AJ involved as they have, and I think the Birds will coast to victory here. That Ravens defense doesn't look, or that Ravens offense doesn't look as dynamic as it sounds when you hear the numbers. I know they have big plays, but in a way, the first half was an encapsulation of what they've been all year. They have plays where Lamar gets out of a sack from Milton Williams and makes a 40-yard completion, and then they have a 60-yard play that they let go because Lamar misses them. They're inconsistent in a weird way, and that's obviously suiting the Eagles well in this game, and that's why they have the lead. So appreciate everybody in the chat. I see all my people in here. Mad Bird, Flexing and Step. Good to see everybody in here. Hit that like button. Hope to talk to you guys all on the post-game show for sure. Anthony Wilson checks in. If Jalen plays like he played in the second Super Bowl, yeah, I think what you're saying is if Jalen can be that every quarter, yeah. And Anthony, I don't put it all on Jalen. I don't think the game plans coming in are sound and realistic at doing what the Eagles do well. It's almost like they're trying to be something they're not in those first plays, and they're using it as a slate to try it or to try and become something. Just be who you are. Run with Saquon. Get Jalen in rhythm early. Let him work, find his groove in the game as he always does. And then, ultimately, the offense is humming, and that's what's happened here. Lucius the Show checks in. Notice that pass in the middle to AJ that Jalen threw before he made his break. Jalen is clearly starting to evolve. Yeah, in this new offense, Lucius, remember, it's not an indictment on him entirely. When you look at a new offense, Kellen Moore, new system, all new things. And we're in week 13 now. So now he's starting to evolve in that offense. And you can see him using the middle of the field more. And it's all coming together. So if the Birds can continue to win at the line of attack and win at the line of scrimmage, I think the Birds are going to win this football game. And Big Z will be right again over Johnny Mack and Sills, who both picked the Ravens. Brian says, Zander, I'm not impressed with Jalen. He looks constipated. I still see a Ravens blowout in the second half. We will see, Brian. I don't agree, though, Brian. I think early in the game he did struggle, but that's clearly before he gets in rhythm. He's like a different quarterback. And then you saw him in that drive, Brian, or that couple drives straight where he completed 9 out of 10 passes, and he just looked decisive, quick with the football, getting the ball out on time and on target. And you could see it. The throws were out on time. AJ was just getting out of his break to that one throw across the middle, and the ball was there right when he looked up. So I don't agree that Jalen looks constipated. I think early in the game, it wasn't great, but like I said, I think it was more on the play calling and what they were trying to do. I don't understand what they try and do early in games. They should commit to who they are and be who they are and bully teams, even in the first 20 plays. So I don't know, but I don't put too much of it on Jalen Hurts, but I do appreciate your super chat. Edgar, good to see you, my man. Thank you for being here. I think Sirianni comes up with the game plan. Kellen indulges him, then makes the adjustments. I don't know. It's a fair point. I'd have to ask John that. He believes it's a collaborative effort, but you do wonder about the organization and how much they get involved in it. Saquon equals Lamar's kryptonite. Yeah, right now. Well, Saquon's having a decent game, but you're right. Lamar's only NFC loss was to Saquon and the Giants. Jordan Davis has played so well. Yes, 18. He has looked very good. Made a couple plays. You could see him, getting some penetration. There was one play, though. I think it was the touchdown pass to Mark Andrews, which, by the way, was a tremendous catch by Mark Andrews. But I'm pretty sure Jordan Davis was just dancing with the offensive lineman. But all right, everybody, enjoy the second half. We will see you on the postgame show. Thanks everybody for checking in, sharing your super chat, sharing your thoughts, and we will see you coming up right after the game. Thanks, everybody.